This is Future Talk.
Future Talk.
Future Talk with Omnia Al Saleh and Hani Balkis.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Future Talk right here on Pulse 95. Hope you guys had a great weekend. It is me, Hani Balkis, with Omnia Saleh, bringing you everything you need to know about what's happening in the tech world, in the UAE, and all around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, it is very dusty, cloudy, windy today. I don't know what type of weather you want to call it, but I don't like it.
Oh, we're definitely welcoming the work week with a very windy Monday. But we also got to welcome Hani Balkis back to Future Talk.
Thank you.
It's been lonely to do the show without you, and we're glad to have you back. Lots and lots is in store right here on today's show as we talk about big news when it comes to educating the younger generation about the benefits of artificial intelligence and how they could be the secret recipe to the future of work. Because the UAE has officially launched a new initiative known as AI for Kids to enhance every child's digital skills, and we're going to be telling you all about it.
Yes, and Donald Trump is making a comeback to social media, but it is not on the social media platforms that we know. We're talking about Donald Trump's new social media app called Truth and how it is set for release on Monday in the Apple Store. So we are looking at today it being released, and I said it on Monday because I'm used to Sunday being the beginning of the week, but again, we are Monday, and we're going to be talking about that app in just a few as well.
Yes, indeed. Now, talking about social media apps, we are going to be talking about the app that, sadly, Donald Trump is not allowed to be on, which is the sister of, or the brother of Facebook, WhatsApp. They are planning to add a new Facebook-like cover photo to your profile. We're going to tell you exactly what you need to know about this brand new feature and how you can use it.
Yes, and ladies and gentlemen, for our crazy tech that is happening in the world, we're talking about how doctors have lengthened a man's leg with an AI-assisted surgery right here in the UAE. What does that mean for the future of medicine, the future of health? Well, we're going to be telling you guys in just a few.
The future of our heights as well. I want to get that surgery. In the world of apps, we're talking all about Snapchat because it's been making headlines everywhere this weekend with the brand new feature that they are allowing their users to access. They will let you change your username starting on the 23rd of February. We're going to tell you exactly how you can go ahead and do that if you've always wanted to change your username but just didn't want to go ahead and create a brand new account, and also how you can use their feature which allows you to track your real-time location of your friends and how you can help your friends track your real-time location as well.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot going on today, but this does make me remember to always be grateful, and I am grateful for, Pulse 95. So we're going to leave you with the song called Grateful.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
Should we start at a very young age teaching children all about the benefits of artificial intelligence? Right here in the UAE, we'll love to start them young, and there's a brand new initiative that is known as AI for Kids that has been officially launched to help build a brand new generation of coders from school students by introducing them to the different coding languages that exist and the basics of artificial intelligence so that we can help them hone their analytical skills.
Yes, now Coders Headquarters, that is in partnership with Dell Technologies, has launched the AI for Kids initiative right here in the UAE. Now, that would be done to build a new generation of coders from school students by introducing them to coding languages and the basics of artificial intelligence to hone their analytical and even logical skills. Now, this also does further encourage them to join this field and enhance their coding and even technological skills, and that also does promote the UAE's leadership in maintaining its position as a global hub for coding and the digital economy. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about how coding is for the future, and we are looking at, the future of education, the future of the workforce, kind of derailing from the basic accounting, engineering. But now we're looking at more things, regarding and covering technology as a whole when it does come to AI, machine learning. And the UAE has been very prominent on that and teaching the youngings of coding and the benefits of coding as well. We do even have, Mohammed bin Zayed University for AI right here in the UAE, in the capital, Abu Dhabi. So the UAE is very keen on making, the UAE a hub for coding in the region.
Absolutely. Now, this brand new initiative has attracted over 1,000 male and female students from different schools across the UAE. It is trying to help them build their digital future and empowering them with all the tools and expertise that they could possibly need. Nowadays, AI, it's not an option for you to close your eyes and go through life acting like it does not exist. It's not after our jobs, but it is forcing us to have to develop ourselves. And that's exactly what this brand new initiative will be doing. So it's going to be training those children, those students, and it's going to be available in both languages, Arabic and English. There's also an option for these students to be able to take live online sessions and lessons if they'd like to not attend in person. And it actually has a follow-up class where they can go ahead and train on the different instructions or different classes that they have been given. So they're getting the theory and they're also getting the implementation. And just to go to show, right here in the UAE, we do have the only Minister of Artificial Intelligence in the entire world, Omar Sultan Al Ulama, who has definitely been creating lots of initiatives to help encourage students as well as adults to enhance their skills, to become more and more integrated with the world of artificial intelligence.
Yes, and when we're looking at coding, programming, and anything that has to do with AI as a whole, again, we are looking at, this being a full-time job, paying a really good money now. You guys don't understand how much money young people are making now because of coding, because of programming. It is still so when we're looking at engineering, right? There's a lot of engineers now. Engineering has been around for a couple hundred years now, and literally, I know like 8 engineers, right? But I don't know any coders. I don't know any programmers. And that is the problem, per se, in the workforce. So if you're a coder, a programmer, if you have knowledge in these fields, companies will pay you a lot of money. And, looking back on it, I kind of wish that I studied programming in university. I wish I did computer science because it doesn't even just look cool, but it pays a lot of money as well. So we always know money is where it's at. So if you're making good money, why not?
Absolutely. And just like you've mentioned, it makes you a very important asset to any company. No matter what your major is, taking a course or two in programming will definitely open a lot of doors. Now, in addition to this program teaching these kids all types of skills, it's also going to be concluding with a wonderful competition so that they can go ahead and put those skills to the test. So they're going to be getting a competition to participate in, and the finalists, 3 talented winners, will be getting an active participation in the future training program. And who knows, they may just be able to even train the youngsters that will be joining the 2nd edition for AI for Kids. Let us know, are you excited for this initiative? Do you encourage your kids to go ahead and participate in coding classes or coding lessons, or would you rather stick to the well-known gymnastics, ballet, football, you name it?
Well, I mean, they could probably do all of those things as well.
True.
Nowadays, these kids are crazy. They do so many activities. But ladies and gentlemen, we are taking a short break. And when we come back, we're giving you a story that will give you tons of feelings.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
Ladies and gentlemen, this couldn't have came at a better time. Now, we are all very, aware of the situation happening in Russia and the Ukraine, and Joe Biden's stance on the Russian-Ukraine invasion per se. Hasn't happened yet, but, they're speculating it. But again, a lot of comparison is happening between Joe Biden, U.S. president, and former U.S. president, Mr. Donald Trump. And now he has came out and said, hey, my social app is finally available and is set for release today. We're talking all about Donald Trump's application, Truth. Now, we do know, I do believe it was back in 2020, Donald Trump was removed from all social media platforms. He was banned from Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. Even YouTube blocked Mr. Donald Trump. So Trump pulled a Trump card and brought his own social media to the game.
Yes, indeed. Today is the day where if you open your app store, you can easily look up Truth Social and find it for download for free on the App Store. Now, What's interesting about this app is not only is the name very ironic because it's coming from the name of it is coming from the mind of someone who was actually spreading all types of misinformation on previous social media platforms before he was banned. But Donald Trump is planning to create a platform where people can go ahead and feel free to share their thoughts and feel free to do it without any political discrimination. At least that's how he's marketing it on the App Store. So the way he wants people to think about it is as if it's a giant outdoor event tent at your best friend's wedding. Who's there? The combination of multiple families from all over the United States and the world. So he wants everyone's voice to be heard on that platform. And the key features that he's planning to focus on is the profile. You can go ahead and express your unique personality by setting up an avatar. You can even list what news outlets interest you, which is the normal with social media platforms in general. But you're also going to have what he calls the truth feed. So you can get the scoop on the latest thoughts and activities from the people that interest you. You can even go ahead and follow certain individuals just like you would on other social media platforms.
Yes, now this launch would restore Trump's presence on social media after more than a year after he was banned from Twitter, Facebook, and even YouTube. And that did follow the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol by his supporters, which a lot of, people in the U.S. want to deem them as terrorists. But again, we are not, talking about that story, but we are looking at how Mr. Donald Trump needs a place to express his feelings. Now, if the Truth social media app is what it says it is, and, you can have freedom of speech, then we should be looking at, having people criticize Donald Trump on the app freely without being silenced. Now, one of the main reasons of Mr. Donald Trump's move from, removal of him from Twitter is because, his freedom of speech. Now, giving Mr. Donald Trump a social media platform, a lot of people say it is a flight risk, and, it might, push a lot of, of his supporters to do things that, are deemed unethical. Now, he's also talking about how there will be a feature which is called No Way to Edit These Truths. And the chief product officer did respond during Friday's question and answer session and did suggest the startup's feature would resemble those of Twitter. So again, we do know that Mr. Donald Trump didn't really care about Facebook, didn't care about Instagram, nor YouTube. He just had a Twitter addiction. So there is no surprise that he would like to mimic the Twitter application as well.
He was basically banned off of all platforms, so he was like, you know what, I'm going to create my own and make it the way I like it. And that's exactly what he's doing, because on the Truth social application, there is no way for you to edit your publications after you post them. So the minute they're on. You cannot edit them, just like Twitter users have dealt with when using Twitter. The next significant feature that he's planning to launch on the platform will be DMs, so direct messages between users, as well as allowing you to go ahead to sign up to receive certain notifications when your favorite news outlets or the people you follow and you're interested in go ahead and post something new on the platform. He's also planning a block functionality on the app, which is also not surprising because he loves to block certain people and he himself dealt with being blocked. So there's no surprise that he would actually want to go ahead and create this new application. Just like we've mentioned, it has very similar features to what we've seen in Instagram and Twitter, Facebook as well. But the question is, how many people are going to use it, and will it actually last on the App Store? Because we do know there are many regulations on the App Store that may just get it off the table.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, 4215, let us know your guys' thoughts if you would jump on the Truth Social app. I won't, because I'm scared they'll take a lot of my information, but that is just my thoughts. We are taking a short break, but when we come back, we're talking all about what's up.
Pulse 95.
Apps all around.
What's worth a click and download?
WhatsApp is bringing Facebook right to you through their platform because they're planning to introduce a new way where you can actually personalize your cover photo. So you can pick and choose what photo do you want to see constantly on your platform, And even business users are actually getting this feature.
Yes, now Meta-owned instant messaging application WhatsApp is reportedly planning to add a new Facebook-like cover image. Now, the feature has been recently spotted by WhatsApp development tracker WA Beta Info. And when that feature is enabled for the beta testers, there will be some changes in your business profile settings. Now, according to the screenshot that was shared by that website, WhatsApp is planning to introduce a camera button in the user's business settings. And this, users can also select a photo or take a new one as a cover photo. Now, when any other user from the contact list will visit your business profile, they will be able to see your newly set cover photo along with the profile photo and status.
Yes, indeed. Now, the feature that I'm most excited about, and I think a lot of people will agree as well, is a new community feature that WhatsApp is looking forward to releasing very soon. So, community is basically going to be a private place where group admins will have a lot more control over some groups on WhatsApp. So, let's say you have a group chat and group admins will actually be able to link different groups together in the community. So groups can now chat with one another instead of just the individuals or participants of a group being able to talk to each other. Now, what's interesting about it is once this feature is actually launched, just typing the name of the group, every user will be able to link up to 10 groups in their community. And so far, it's not available for iOS users, but soon enough, WhatsApp Beta for Android will be able to use it. And in the coming months, we are looking at WhatsApp iOS users being able to get it as well.
Yes, let us know your guys' thoughts. 4215. We are taking a short break and going straight to the sports headlines. But when we come back, we're talking all about doctors and how they have lengthened a man's leg using AI right here in the UAE.
Check this out. Check this out.
Pulse 95.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking all about growing out your legs, but not literally. Or is it literally? Well, we're going to tell you the story and you guys tell us what you think. Now, right here in the UAE, we're talking about how doctors have lengthened a man's leg with AI-assisted surgery. Now, it was done using smart screws and AI, and doctors right here in the UAE have successfully lengthened an Emirati man's leg.
Yes, indeed. Now, this is the first of its kind surgery, and I'm sure everyone tuning into us right now is like shocked because who would have thought you could lengthen your legs? Now, this is not it's not a type of cosmetic surgery. So anyone who has always dreamt of being a little bit taller can't just go ahead and get the surgery. It was actually totally for medical reasons. Now, a 25-year-old man has been suffering from a congenital defect. So it's a birth defect that they were born with, where his right leg was actually 9 centimeters shorter than his left. So you can only imagine the amount of pain that he was physically in for quite a time, because the imbalance was causing him back pain, severe lower back pain, affecting his pelvic region, causing a lot of mental and physical damage. So what he has decided to do is place his life in the hands of very professional doctors right here in the UAE, as well as artificial intelligence, where they were able to do the surgery, although there were many risks, because the typical protocols for lengthening someone's legs is typically done for only 4 to 5 centimeters. So if someone's right leg or left leg is 4 to 5 centimeters longer or shorter, they can go ahead and do that. But when it's a lot more, we're talking about 9 centimeters, things become a lot more difficult and a lot more risky.
Yes, and this mostly happens to people who are very tall and they do have this, birth defect. Now, we were looking at how the biggest challenge was to lengthen the shin and femur bones and to insert 2 nails simultaneously to ensure both legs were equally long, and that is what the doctor said. Now, we are looking at how, according to the doctor, that the leg length differences did exceed 4 centimeters because of a violent imbalance in patients, and that could actually lead to unbearable pain. Now, the decision was to lengthen 9 centimeters in total, 5 centimeters in the shin bone, and 4 centimeters in the thigh bone. Mm-hmm. Now, the device did use elongated smart path screws which inserted into the two bones through very small holes. Then two magnetic fields are at play on here, which was one on the inside and one on the outside. Now, a lot of people in the U.S. have also, tried to do this surgery. There is a very famous basketball player, Chinese basketball player in the United States. Believe it or not, he's so famous that I forgot his name. I know.
1 second.
I forgot his name, but he was super tall. He was the tallest NBA player ever, and his career had to fall short because of the problems he had with his legs. I also actually know one guy personally that goes by the name of Abdullah who has this problem as well. So it's very common for people who are very tall to have this problem.
Oh, I'm not sure if it's the same man you're talking about. There was a Chinese man who was at the age of 22. He actually faces permanent disability because he tried to get leg lengthening surgery to be a little bit taller, and it didn't go the way he wanted.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it's the same thing, but luckily that did not happen right here in the UAE. It was completely successful, and this man is, alive and thriving. Now, once they actually inserted the smart screws and used that magnetic field to try and lengthen his legs, the artificially intelligent device was turned on, and both magnets were interacting with each other as well as with the screws, which was the main secret over there, because the two screws were actually increasing the length of the bone by 1 to 1.5 millimeters every minute. And this process was repeating itself over 8-hour gaps throughout the day. So all they did was insert the screws, put up this device across the screws so that every hour it was actually increasing the length of the bone without necessarily causing damage to that person's bone at the same time.
Yes, the player that I was talking about did play for the Houston Rockets, and his name does go, obviously, a lot of you guys know him, Yao Ming. I don't know how I forgot his name, but he was listed at 7'6", so that is around 229 meters.
Wow.
He is huge. Now, he did play from 1997 all the way to 2011. Now, why I'm mentioning that is he is only right now, at this day, he is 41 years old. So he left the NBA at 31, which is the prime of many players. LeBron James right now is 39 years old, and he had to leave the NBA because of his problems when it did come to his legs. So can you just imagine, getting sent away in your prime because of medical reasons? Let us know your guys' thoughts. 4215. Do you have this problem? Do you know anyone who has this problem? But it does seem that this problem has a solution now. So that should give you some motivation.
Pulse 95.
Apps all around.
What's worth a click and download?
We all have an account or two where we've created some crazy usernames for them, whether it is your email address, whether it is your Facebook account, Snapchat, or even Instagram. But now Snapchat is allowing us or giving us the freedom to remove our childhood embarrassment. If you have created a username that you now hate and would love to change it, now you may just get the golden chance to do so, because later this month of February, Snapchat will allow users to go ahead and change their usernames, more specifically starting from the 23rd of February. So you can go ahead and change your username without impacting any of your Snap codes, your Snap scores, your memories. It will be available globally for all Android and iOS Snapchat users.
Yes, now I actually discovered this feature, believe it or not, last week. While I was going through my settings, it says change username. So I was actually kind of, surprised that not a lot of media coverage was around that. So apparently the official launch date of it is on February 23rd. But I've had this, for quite some time now.
Would you change your username if you could?
My username, I mean, it's not affiliated to, a lot of other things, but, I'll decide to keep it just because I feel like it's my brand per se. But I don't feel like I'll be changing it because I don't know what to change it to. It's just something I've been used to. But a lot of people would love to change their username just because, they made it when they were too young. I made mine all the way back in 2012.
Wow.
So, it's 10 years. I was one of the first people to ever use Snapchat, and I still use it to this day. But ladies and gentlemen, if you want to change your Snapchat username, you are now eligible to do so. Now, To change username, you're going to be able to tap the Bitmoji icon on the top left corner of the camera, and then head over to the profile selection. Now, from there, you can also select settings by tapping on the gear icon in the top right corner. Now, once you do click on username, you will see a change username button marked in blue, and then you can enter a new username and hit next to finalize the changes. So we're looking at, how this is going to, please a lot of people. And it's been a very highly requested feature. It's been for years now, ever since, the first generation of Snapchat grew up and decided, they don't want their name to be Candy Girl 123.
You're definitely right about that. Now, what's interesting about it is you don't get a lot of chances to go ahead and change your username. So you'll only be allowed to change it once every year. And I don't think anyone would change it more often than that. But let me know if you would be excited to get to change your username. We just have 2 days to go, and then you'll be able to do that on Snapchat. But speaking of new features that they're launching, they're also allowing users to share their real-time location with friends. So that means if you use the buddy system that they're launching as friends, you'll be able to actually find out if someone is on their way to you or on the way home, which I must say, it's not going to be a good feature for people who are constantly late, because we all do it from time to time. We'll be like, oh yeah, I'm on the way, and we haven't really left our house. But now on Snapchat, your friends will be able to track exactly where you are at and how long it'll take you to make it home. But it's also a great safety feature, especially for friends and family. If you want to make sure that your children are home safe, instead of having to download a separate app to be able to do that, they can just go ahead and share their real-time location, and your buddies as well as parents will be able to see and share that location. But it's only available for the people you choose to share your location with.
Yes, let us know your guys' thoughts. 4215. Are you going to change your username on Snapchat or not? But ladies and gentlemen, as the clock hits almost 3, we have the halftime show, the only place to be at 3, with the man himself, Omar Duri, commencing in T-minus 7 minutes, or now we can say 6 minutes. But ladies and gentlemen, this does conclude Future Talk for today, and we will be seeing you guys same time, same place tomorrow, only here on Pulse
95.
If you liked this episode of Future Talk, drop a like and subscribe.
Pulse 95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.